Here's an amazing question to test your analytical skills. You need to calculate the missing number. You're presented with triangle, which is split into 3 equal or almost equal parts. At the bottom of the triangles, on each side, you see numbers 8 and 2. In the middle section of the triangles, you see numbers 4 and 6. And on the top of the triangle, you see number 3 on the left, and on the right, you need to calculate the missing number. You're presented with 4 different choices. Choices A, 6, choice B, 10, choice C, 7, and choice D, 2. Do you see the answer? I'm gonna give you a quick hint here. You need not to guess the number, but you need to calculate it. Let's move forward so we can get to the correct solution together. I keep repeating it on this channel, but the fundamentals are solid. You need to always look for patterns in these types of questions. And there are actually 2 patterns here. The first pattern is that each row adds up to 10, and vertically value add up to 15. So for example, if we add 8 plus 2, that would be equal to 10. 4 plus 6 would be equal to 10. And 3 plus the missing number would also be equal to 10. So the correct answer here is choice C, 7. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's an amazing question which tests your analytical skills. You need to determine which item comes next, and you're presented with the series of 5 rectangles, and the 6th rectangle is missing. You need to select one of 4 different choices, choices A, B, C, and D. Give yourself a little bit of time to see if you can come up with the answer. Make sure to give yourself enough time. If necessary, pause this video to see if you can get to the correct solution. Ready or not, I am moving forward to reveal you the final answer. And obviously, the final answer is just the result of my analysis. If you have a better way of solving it, please make sure to post in comments. If you're a subscriber to this channel, you need to know that you need to always look for patterns. And there are 3 different patterns here in this problem. Let's look at all 3. The first pattern is that squares filled with color move diagonally from the top left corner to the middle and then to the bottom right corner. Then they return back. The second pattern is that unshaded, transparent square appears in the middle of every third shape in the sequence. And then the third pattern is that triangle appears in the middle right section with every alternative shape. This is why the correct choice here is the rectangle with the black square as well as unshaded, transparent square inside the middle, but without the triangle. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Let's look at the question where you need to come up with the logical conclusion. Oxygen is a gas. This tank contains gas. Conclusion that was drawn based on these 2 statements is that this tank contains oxygen. You need to determine if this conclusion is correct, and your choices are choice A, true, choice B, most likely true, choice C, false, and choice D, cannot determine. Do you see the answer? Question is definitely worded very tricky, but the answer is very obvious. Let's look into details. Obviously, there are many different types of gases. For example, nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, carbon dioxide, and a lot of others. Oxygen is just one of many gases, which is clearly indicated in the statement 1. And tank contains a gas, which could be one of many gases, which is shown in the statement 2. Based on this, there is not enough information to determine what type of gas is stored in the tank. So the correct choice here is choice D, cannot determine. Did you come up with the same conclusion? Please share your thoughts in comments. Here's the famous 4-triangle question you regularly observe in the test. You need to calculate the missing number, which is represented by the question mark. And you're presented with 4 different triangles. Each triangle is of a different color. The first, bottom left corner blue triangle has numbers in the corners 2, 2, and 6. The green triangle next to it in the upper right corner has numbers 4, 3, and 1. The purple triangle in the bottom left corner has numbers 3, 5, and 2. And then the last triangle, black triangle, has numbers 0, 1, and then in the upper corner there's a missing number which you need to calculate based on the 4 different choices. Choice A, 0. Choice B, 1. Choice C, 2. And choice D, 3. Do you see the answer? Let me give you a hint. There is a true calculation and not guessing behind determining what the number is. Ready or not, I am going to move forward and reveal the solution to you. As I mentioned, the trick about this problem is that the number can be calculated. And the key to calculate it is to determine the pattern. And then the pattern here is that the numbers in the corresponding corners of the triangles all add up to 10. Let's do the math and start with the bottom left corner. 6 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 equals 10. Let's go to the bottom right corner of the triangle. 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 0 is also 10. And now, in the same way, let's do the math and calculate the missing number. 2 plus 4 plus 3 plus question mark equals 10. Based on these calculations, question mark equals 1. So the correct choice here is choice B, 1. Keep in mind that sometimes in these types of problems, triangles are colored, and the only reason this is done is to confuse you, to look for the patterns inside the triangles itself. I truly hope that you've nailed this question on your own or learned how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's an amazing question where you need to form the word from the English dictionary using 10 letters. And the condition is that you need to use all the letters only once. The letters are L, E, P, M, O, C, Y, T, I, X. Give yourself a little bit of time, maybe pause this video to see if you can come up with the solution. I'm gonna give you a quick hint. The word kind of reflects the fact that there are 10 letters in the word. Hopefully it was helpful, but ready or not, I am moving forward to reveal you the solution. As you might have guessed, the answer is the word complexity. Let me spell it for you. C-O-M-P-L-E-X-I-T-N-Y. And complexity is a state of having many different components that are being challenging to understand or find answer to. Here's the sample usage of the word complexity. There are a lot of complexities surrounding this project. Not sure if it's helpful for you or not, but I try to solve these challenges by trying to mentally connect the letters looking at the original question. So, for example, here, we can connect the letters C-O-M-P-L-E-X-I-T-N-Y. Do you have a better way to solve it? Please make sure to post your ideas to solve these types of questions in comments. Here's a tricky question which tests your knowledge of English words. You need to identify all the words that are synonyms to the word large. You're presented with 10 different words: enormous, petite, insignificant, mammoth, minuscule, colossal, huge, powdered, gigantic, and dissolved. The tricky part here is that there could be between 1 and 10 answers. Give yourself a little bit of time to see if you can process the question. Let's move forward and I'll share with you my version of the answer. But obviously, if you have better solutions, feel free to share in comments. I found 5 words that are similar in meaning to the word large. Let me share them all with you. The words enormous, mammoth, colossal, huge, and gigantic are similar in definitions to the word large. Enormous means very large in size. Mammoth means huge. Colossal means extremely large, as well as the word huge has a similar meaning of extremely large. And then finally, the word gigantic means item of a very large size. And finally, something you may or may not know. Practicing questions like this not just helps you increase your English dictionary, but also increases your IQ. Here's an interesting question for you to practice. You need to identify all the words with similar meaning, and you're presented with 5 different words. The words are leader, lender, leather, coach, and influencer. Do you see the answer? Keep in mind that there could be between 2 and 5 answers. So make sure to give yourself a little bit of time to process this question. And when you're ready, please make sure to post your answer in comments. Thanks for participating and good luck. Here's an interesting question from the recent test. You need to figure out the word from the 5 letters you see on the screen. The letters are H, A, B, E, and C. Do you see the word? Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds, maybe 20 seconds. You can pause this video to see if you can figure it out on your own. Make sure to use all the letters and make sure to use each of the letters once. Ready or not, I'm going to move forward and share with you my solution. But keep in mind that a lot of times multiple words can be formed, so if you see another word, please make sure to share it in comments. The solution I found is the word beach. Let me spell it for you. B-E-A-C-H. Do you see any other solutions? Make sure to post them in comments. And if you'd like to improve your ability to guess the words, you can play word games, read a lot, and practice crosswords and puzzles. Here's the interesting question where you need to calculate the missing number. You're presented with numbers 11, 44, 99, and you need to continue the sequence and determine the missing number out of 4 possible choices. Choice A, 111. Choice B, 133. Choice C, 155. And choice D, 176. Do you think you know the answer? Give yourself a little bit of time, maybe pause this video to see if you can calculate the solution. Ready or not, I am going to move forward and reveal the answer to you as well as the calculations. And in fact, the solution for this problem is rather simple. You just need some creativity and energy to get it solved. My advice to you, always look for patterns. Let's look at the pattern for this particular question. The way first 3 numbers are calculated is by multiplying the single digits incrementally. For example, the first number is 1 multiplied by 11, which is 11. The second number is 2 multiplied by 22, which equals 44. The third number is 3 multiplied by 33, which equals 99. So the missing number can be calculated as 4 multiplied by 44, which equals 176. So the correct choice here is choice D, 176. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. And now, here's the question for you to practice. You're presented with triangle, which is broken down into 3 equal horizontal parts. On the left side of the triangle, you see numbers 8, 4, and 3 if you go from the bottom to the top. And on the right side of the triangles, you see numbers 2, 6, and 1 number is missing. You need to select missing number from 4 different choices. Choice A, 6. Choice B, 10. Choice C, 7. And choice D, 2. Give yourself a little bit of time to see if you can come up with the solution. If you figured out the solution, please make sure to post your answer in the comment section of this video so I can give you my feedback. Thanks for participating and good luck. I love this question because you need to determine the relationship between the shapes. And you need to determine which shape has similar relationship to rectangle. If you take a close look, you will see that there are other smaller shapes inside the larger shapes. And you have 4 different choices to choose from the final answer. Choices A, B, C, and D. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. Have you tried solving it? Were you successful? Let's move forward so we can get to the correct solution together. To determine the correct answer in this case, and in a lot of other cases, you need to look for patterns. And the pattern in this particular case is that to build the relationship, inside shape becomes outside shapes, preserving the number of the inside to outside shapes ratio. If you look closely at the relationship presented in this question, you see that the red triangle has green ovals inside, and it has a relationship to green oval that has red triangles inside. Knowing this, we need to determine relationship of the blue square that has pentagons inside to one of 4 shapes presented in possible answers. Do you see it now? All you need to do in this particular answer is to take the pentagon which is inside the square, enlarge it, and put blue squares inside. So as you might have guessed, the correct answer here is choice B. Hopefully you've nailed this question on your own and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's a cool question you frequently see on the test. You need to calculate the question mark, and you're presented with the 3-layer pyramid. On the bottom layer, you have numbers 8 and 2. On the middle layer, you have numbers 4 and 6. And in the top layer, you have numbers 3, and on the other side of the pyramid, you have a question mark. And this question mark can be one of those 4 values. Your choice A is 6, choice B is 10, choice C is 7, and choice D is 2. Do you see the answer? Give yourself a little bit of time. For some of you, this type of question might be easy, but for some of you, it might require some thinking. So feel free to pause this video to see if you can come up with the solution. Ready or not, let's go ahead and get to the correct solution together. As you might have figured out, the key to solve these types of challenges is always look for patterns. And if you look closely, each row adds up to 10. And vertically, values also add up to 15. So the correct answer here is choice C, 7. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. A lot of you are interested and ask me, how can I help others? One of the ways you can help other people is by sharing the latest questions you see as part of the assessment test. And when you share, please make sure to also include how you answered them. Please share the question you recently encountered in the comment section of this video. And if you know the answers, please share them as well. And now let's continue and get you ready for the test. In this interesting but tricky question, you need to count the number of circles. You're presented with an unusual shape, and you have 4 different choices based on your selection. Choice A, 10 circles. Choice B, 11 circles. Choice C, 2 circles. And choice D, 1 circle. Give yourself a little bit of time to see if you can count correctly. Did you figure it out? I told you that this was a tricky question. As you might have figured out, there is only 1 circle in the middle. Other shapes are just ovals and shapes of different kinds. When you do these types of questions in the test, watch out and be prepared for these types of unusual and tricky questions. Very frequently on the test, you need to identify words with the similar meaning. In this case, you're presented with 5 words: recall, vote, cast, remember, and remind. Which words on the list have a similar meaning? Very interesting question because the number could be between 2 and 5. Did you get to the answer? Let's move forward and I'll share with you the correct solution. From my standpoint, there are 3 words here with the similar meaning. And obviously, if you disagree, feel free to share your feedback in comments. But I see words recall, remember, and remind having similar meaning in this particular question. To understand why, we need to look at the definition. For example, word recall means bring something back to your mind. Word remember means bring forward past memory into the present. And word remind means cause someone to remember someone or something. Not the easiest question because each word can have multiple definitions and multiple meanings. And to solve it, you need to know all of them and connect them to get to the final answer. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, please give us a like and consider subscribing. Thanks for all your endorsement, support, and patronage. For additional helpful information, please make sure to check out links in the description. For detailed list of available resources, I encourage you to check out resources page on our website, howtoanalyzedata.net/resources. If you know someone who would benefit from this content, please consider sharing the link. Please leave the feedback, corrections, or suggestions in comments. And all the best on your journey. I'll see you in my next video.